Hey, Briley. Chris Kleiman mentioned that you guys had a pretty productive team meeting maybe yesterday. What kind of stuff did you guys talk about during that meeting?
We talked about he talked about it after the game, accountability. But the biggest thing I think that we took from it was, we have a lot to learn from that game, but we're into Baylor prep now, and it's time to move on, take what we learned, and continue to just pound the stone one day at a time and get better, and flush it at this point.
Coming off a game like that on offense where you seem to do very little right, do you go back and evaluate it, or just move on, just move as far away from it as you can? What's the deal there?
You would like to just move on as far away as you can and not look at it, but you have to. We watched it as a full offense together, which I think was really good. You hear the different coaches talking to their players and stuff, and coaches making sure that they point out everything, whether we were to win a game or lose the way that we did. So I think it was really productive, which I think led to one of our best Monday practices that we've had in the past few weeks for sure, energy-wise, how locked in and focused we were. So, you never want that to happen, but, I think we took it, learned from it, and grew in just, 48 hours.
John?
Yeah, Briley, I know obviously you did play on Saturday, but were you close to 100%? I mean, how healthy would you say that you were on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I was out there. I felt great. Didn't have any problems with the back. Felt good, and I was 100% out there, which was a good feeling. The coaches did a great job throughout the week of starting low and then just building the amount of reps that I got throughout the week, and I was able to go 100%.
One thing that coach had mentioned after the game, and you kind of alluded to it there too, was just accountability issues, making sure you guys are holding each other accountable. How long have you seen that there might have been some cracks as far as that was concerned with you guys?
I don't know. There's always going to be those issues, and I think the biggest thing with it is that coach gives us the reins to the team to take control. He gives the leaders all the accountability in the program. He always says that this isn't his team, it's our team, which is a beautiful thing. But with that being said, we have to step up and make sure that we don't take advantage of that and let things slide. So I've seen it's been getting better, but we just got to continue. Whether it's a fifth-year senior like myself or a freshman like Deuce Vaughn, we just got to continue to make sure we hold everybody accountable on and off the field.
I was going to ask you too, I don't know how much you've had a chance to talk with Will since the game, but just how has he handled, everything that happened on Saturday?
I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great teammate. You would have never noticed on the sideline. He wasn't pouting. He was doing everything that he could to help his teammates. He was keeping our spirits up. He was helping us in the huddle. Whenever you have a guy like that that's that young in that situation, I would say it's pretty rare for somebody to handle it the way he did. He came and had a great practice yesterday. He came and attacked the day, as well as Nick did. So, when you have guys like that, especially at the quarterback position, your team is going to be successful because of the people that are in it.
Appreciate it, Briley. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Fitz?
Hey, Briley, your injury was one of those at watching a game that kind of makes everyone wince. How much did that hurt?
Oh, it was bad. It was – at first I wasn't sure how serious it was, and then it kind of calmed down, and then they tried to get me to stand up, and then it just completely locked up again. And, I was trying to move around and work with the doctor and come back in the game. Wasn't able to. Ended up finding out the next day that's probably better I didn't go in. But, it's football, and the guy made a good play. He put his shoulder pad right into my lower back. It is what it is. It's a physical sport.
I've asked you this before, but as a new guy, you have kind of established yourself as a leader. Is that more difficult after a 45-0 loss to have Briley Moore step up and talk to his teammates?
No, I think it's more important. I'm one of the older guys on the team. I have a lot of experience. So I think it's important whether I'm new or I've been here for my entire career. It happens, and it's over with. We got to learn from it, and we can't let it affect us this week. Guys like Noah Johnson, one of the best leaders that I've been around. Even Skyler, who's not playing right now, an amazing leader. So we just got to continue to push that message, like we've talked about many times, hold each other accountable, and just keep on going.
In the course of a month, 4-0 became 4-3 in the conference. What is the sense of urgency to get back on the winning track?
It's high, and football's like that. You can go 4-0 and think you're on top of the world, and all of a sudden 3 weeks later you're 0-3. I mean, that's just the type of sport that it is. So I think we've done a great job in the past 24 hours. But it's going to continue to be more important to how we attack today, and then tomorrow, and then Saturday ultimately is what will show what type of sense of urgency we have to get that back going. But I think everybody's doing the right things as well as you can after a loss like that to get back on that track.
We've got 3 hands raised. We'll go through those 3, starting with Kellis.
Sorry, Briley. I had one more for you. It seems like slow starts have kind of putting you guys behind the 8 ball in some recent losses. How important does that make, getting an early lead at Baylor this week?
Very, very important. To start that game, we were moving. We had a great drive going, and then we just simply didn't execute once we got into the low red zone there on Saturday. And that's something that we have to take pride in scoring. Preferably touchdowns. We just got to continue to execute, and that's all it was. We had the right plays called, but it's just a couple missed assignments here, a couple missed assignments there, and then all of a sudden you go 4 and out down there. So we have to have a sense of urgency to convert once we get in those situations, especially when the coaches put us in great situations like they did. So we just got to continue to get better and take advantage of those opportunities.
Arnie?
Yeah, Briley, you talked about watching the game as an offensive unit, and I know Coach Kleiman said Thanksgiving you guys are going to have a meal all together, but how much has that been missing this year with just those opportunities to be together as a team, and how maybe has that affected just maybe some of the issues that you might have now?
Yeah. Early, I would say that, especially being a new guy, I wasn't able to get around everybody, which wasn't great. But once we actually were able to get things rolling, we're essentially in our own bubble. So we are around each other every day, and, majority of the interactions that we have are with each other. So, the team has great camaraderie and, great relationships. So I don't think that there's any problem like that. I would say that it's pretty exceptional, honestly, for how things are going in the country right now, especially around college football. And, this coaching staff they're amazing. They're, like you said, putting together a Thanksgiving dinner for us all whenever we can't go home and see our families and stuff. And that just shows the type of leadership that we have from the top, starting with Coach Kleiman and on down, and the type of culture that we have at this program, which is, it's just exceptional.
Last one here, Ryan.
Hey, Briley, given your background before you got to K-State, I know you're more familiar with this coaching staff's success at North Dakota State than anybody. And I'm sure it doesn't surprise you to know Saturday was the most lopsided loss they've ever had. Have you noticed maybe just a different edge from them since Saturday because of that? Because again, they're not used to ever getting beat like they did Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that's the biggest margin. But they were obviously upset, but they didn't come in there and just start yelling at us and stuff. We had a great meeting and a great practice, and I think the way that they handled it is the reason that we were able to have such a productive day yesterday, because it starts at the top, and they showed great leadership by obviously pointing out the things that we got to do better, but it wasn't in a way that they're yelling at us and pointing fingers. They started off by putting the blame first on them. So it's just, I think they're doing a great job, of handling it. We've obviously only had one day together with having Sunday off, but and now it's on us to make sure that we answer the call and continue to get better each day this week.